Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're a new person here, welcome. Well, just like everyone else, I want to talk about what's going to be in my wallet for Q4. Now, full disclosure, the cards I'm going to show all will not be in my wallet. Some just have a particular purpose that they can just stay at home. Sometimes I will use my Google Play if I can, but I do keep some of them, but not all. So let's just get started. Well, the first card I want to show will be for my mortgage, and that will be the rent. This will be the bill card. As I just mentioned, I use this card to pay my mortgage. I'm lucky enough to do that right now, and I can rack up a lot of those bill points, which I I think are very high. The only catch with this card is you have to have 5 transactions in a billing cycle in order to get the points for rent or mortgage, which for me is very easy. I do put some additional payments on this card as well as a couple of coffee runs at work, and boom, I'm at 5. I really do love this card. Sometimes I will even throw it in a rotation for dining to get the 3 times points. It's a good travel card too. The only thing I don't like, it doesn't really, their travel is kind of, it's not as big as others. They don't do parking and things like that. But for a no annual fee card, it's great. I know there's going to be some updates with it coming in 2026. Hopefully they'll still have a free version and I will still be able to use that for my mortgage. The next card is what I would use when I go traveling, which I do have some trips coming up, some domestic trips in November and December, and that will be my American Express Platinum card. So this is the mirror card, which I really do like. As I mentioned in the previous video, this is a terrible earning card. It's so bad. But the reason it's going to be in my wallet is, as I mentioned before, traveling. Lounge access is the key thing. I know that card scares people off with the $895 annual fee, but for me, it can work because I use those credits. I know it's a coupon book, but for me, it's very easy for me, and I do get my money back, and I'm back in that effective annual fee. I just recently used the $300 credit for something coming up. Plus, I used my Resi credit for this quarter as well as my Lululemon. I do max out on the $240 digital credits. I've used my Saks Fifth credits for the year, the $250 annual. I do use the $120 credit for Uber, and I use that for Uber Eats. So once again, for me, it works. I know this card, people frown upon it, but it's not for everyone, but it benefits me. So the next card, which, as I mentioned, for my travel, I usually don't like renting a car. I have, but I prefer to take public transportation, ride shares. So with that being for domestic travel, I'm going to be using my Amex green card. So with the Amex green card, you get 3 times points on transit, parking, food. There is a credit on here for Clear, which I didn't mention, but I do use the Clear credit on my Platinum. This card does have a $150 annual fee. I've been contemplating if I do want to make a change with it, but I do get value for, pretty much using it for my transit card and once again in rotations for food. Speaking of food, for Q4, I'm going to go with the Saver card. Now, I don't know what it is, why this card doesn't get a lot of love. My Amex green card was a gold card before, and I downgraded it. I know with the gold, you get the 4 times points for food and grocery stores. Well, with the Saver, you get 3 for those categories. And I know 4 is better than 3, but 3 is pretty doggone good. And there's no annual fee with it, and you don't have to deal with the coupons of the gold card. I really like this card. Capital One, low key, is being slept on for a lot of things. They got good transfer partners. So with this, I do collect the points because I pair this with the Venture One. which that's another no annual fee card. I really don't use it for anything. It's only 1.25 for Capital One miles, but I do use it so I can transfer my Saver cash back to that card so I can redeem to the travel partners. So Q4, Capital One is going to be my food and grocery card. As a backup card for traveling and for transit, and also for food, I'm going to have in my wallet the Chase Sapphire Preferred. So this little beauty of a card, actually, I like this card as well. I need to have it in my collection because this is the key card for Chase cards. Most of the Chase cards that collect the points to transfer, but it also has 2% for transit. 2% for transit, 2% cash back for travel, 3% for food. There is a $50 hotel credit that you have to use on the Chase portal, so that would knock your annual fee down to 45 bucks. So this is a backup card I'll keep if I'm somewhere that doesn't take Amex for transit and tolls and parking. Also, too, it's a backup food card. Usually when I travel domestically, I can take the green card, and that could be my dedicated food card. But I usually want to have a Visa and some type of MasterCard so I can have options, because even domestically, some places won't accept American Express. So that's why I have that in my wallet for Q4. Now, for my catch-all card, it's going to be my Fidelity card, and the Fidelity card is a 2% with no annual fee, no foreign transaction fee, which is great. I think they changed that this year. I believe they have a TSA credit I can't use because, like I said, I get global entry with my Platy card, and that takes care of that with the TSA. But it's a great catch-all card for me. I do have a Fidelity account that I can just put in my account to get the cash, or I can invest the money into some Fidelity accounts. So I've had this card for a while. Like I say, for my non-categories, it's a great save, and I really do like it. So one of my better catch-all cards that I have, especially 2%. For gas, I think everyone kind of does this. My gas is always going to go on my Citi Custom Cash card. My Citi Custom Cash, I pretty much just use it for gas so I can get that 5% at the end of the billing cycle. With me, I do work outside the office. I do some traveling and some other things, so I am using gas. So this is a great thing to get that cash back. So with Citi, it is my cash back setup. I don't have another card like the Strata or anything to transfer the points, and I want to kind of keep it like that. I do want the points. I do want the cash back from this card, because in my mind, hey, cash back, you can apply that towards your traveling. So that's why I try to keep a hybrid. So for this quarter, and pretty much most of the quarters, is always going to be my Citi Cash for gas. And then lastly, for when I'm traveling domestically or internationally, or if I need to get cash out of an ATM, I will use my Charles Schwab debit Visa card. I actually learned about this card on YouTube a few years ago, and I had to get it. One is one of those cards that you can use basically at any ATM around the world, and you're not charged a ridiculous fee of you getting your own money out. And also, too, traveling internationally, you can use this to convert your cash by withdrawing it from the bank and letting Charles Schwab do the conversion versus having the bank do it. It saves you tons of money. So I actually told my daughter about this card. She's going to start doing some traveling. Plus, I just think it's just a good card to have, just to put some money on there. So if you're somewhere, you have to hit an ATM, you're not paying no $5, $6, $7 fee. You'll get charged a fee, but they reimburse you right away. So I love my Charles Schwab card, and it's always in my wallet, even for local, but definitely international. And then also too, a couple of other cards. I do have a side business. I got some side hustles because that's what you got to do nowadays. And I kind of mix that up on multiple cards. So pretty much my spending for certain things I have to buy, equipment, um, any type of things that I just need for the business, I usually will put it on my Amex Blue business card. This is a great card, 2% cash back. I'm sorry, 2% MR points up to $50,000. I know some people, we even use this card as a catch-all card for personal. Not saying you can't. I just like trying to keep my business and personal separate. So, but I have used it for personal spend in some instances. But it's a great card. Like I said, 2%, no thrills, no annual fee. So it's great on the business end. For the utilities and things I have to pay for the business, I do use my oh my God, I'm having a brain fart. My Chase business cash, mostly to buy gift cards. And as I mentioned in a video before, if you know, five, you get, if you go to stores like Staples and Office Depot, supply stores, the gift cards, you get 5%. You get 5%. This is cash back. Then I would just roll that over to my Chase CSP in order to get the Chase U Raw points. So this is a quick earning card for me. I get a lot of value out of that. And then this card, a lot of people, they don't talk about it as much, but if I do have to have some other expenses on business, I'll put it on my Wyndham Business Earner card. I think this is a great card to have. It is a $95 annual fee. Barclays, they want blood. They want to see your first child. All this stuff in order to get a card, especially a business card, you do have to kind of show them some information. But once you do that, you're pretty much in their system. This card is a great earner for utilities and other things, like at 5%. Gas is at 8%. Now I know some people will say, well, you're collecting Wyndham. Why would you want to have points for Wyndhams at a Wyndham hotel? I'm not talking about the Wyndham hotels outside of freeways. Wyndham has some nice hotels within their program, and I mean, they're amazing. I recently just came back from Jamaica, staying at a Wyndham. Well, the property was called Grand Palladium. Fantastic. I went to a Cleveland Browns game in Indianapolis and stayed at a place called Alexandria. Fantastic properties, all within the Wyndham umbrella. So I usually try to get a lot of value from this card. And sometimes if I hit that limit with the custom cash for gas, I believe it's $500. I just throw it on here and hey, get the 8-time points. Wyndham points are valuable if you know how to use them. So with that, guys, that's what I have in my wallet and what I'm using for Q4. Would love to know what you guys are using. If you like mine, if you hate it, if you have any suggestions. I mean, this is what this channel's for. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel so we can get this information out here to other people. So, Calvi out.